This 13th floor video session is powered by The Rock Shop.
D, making that kit sound all right?
Oh, very good.
It was made for, so to speak. It was. Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda. Today we have the Solomon Cole Band with us, and representing the band, first off, is Sophia. How's it going?
It's good, thank you.
Nice of you guys to swing by. You're all based in Waiheke, right?
We are. We've been there for several years, but Dion, our drummer's been there for much longer.
And so did you all take the ferry over?
No, the three of us work in town. So,
oh, okay. So you're all set.
just Dion came across.
Excellent. And is there an actual music scene in Waiheke?
You'd be surprised.
I would be. Tell me about it.
Well, ironically, when I first moved to Waiheke about 2 years ago, I was actually looking to step away from music. But in that time, I've been involved in about 3 or 4 different bands. We have different bands who have released albums in the last year or so. Oyawa, who are very good friends of ours,
right.
They released their EP recently. They've also been longlisted for the Tate Prize,
hey.
along with us. So there's also the Aaron Carpenter and the Revelators,
right.
Who I believe you interviewed.
He was here
last year.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a huge music scene there, much bigger than I'd imagined when I first moved.
So how long has the Solomon Cole Band been doing their thing?
The Solomon Cole Band have probably been doing about 2-3 years. About 3 years now. I was roped in about a year into their formation, and by roped I mean I said, please let me in. I can do your backing vocals.
So you've moved from backing vocals to the lead vocals, haven't you?
For the purpose of making sure I don't lose the plot, I like to say I'm a backing vocalist.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I've seen you perform, and you're no backing vocalist.
I'm a very out front, center backing vocalist. Who's not a backing vocalist at all.
And it's just for folks who are not familiar with the band, the other members of the band, there's Lee, who plays the bass.
Lee Catlin, who's a brilliant bass player. We have Solomon Cole himself.
On the guitars and the vocals?
On the guitars, vocals, primary songwriters.
Yeah.
Between Solomon Cole, Lee Catlin. It's quite a collaborative effort. Then there's the gorgeous Dion.
She's sitting just off camera here.
She is just off camera, and she's wonderful.
Yeah, so it seems like you guys have a lot of fun on stage when you're doing your thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the a lot of it's from just being really good friends as well. Solomon and Lee I know from a prior band years and years ago, so we've known each other over a decade. And Dion's just kick ass.
Alrighty. So we're going to hear 3 songs from you guys, and 2 of them feature you on the lead vocals.
Yes.
The first one is a thing called Shiver.
Yes.
What can you tell me about that one?
Okay, Shiver came about. Shiver's gone through quite a few changes. When we first started, Shiver was quite a poppy, almost Motownish, think almost Supremes type track, but didn't quite work. Didn't quite work the way we'd originally envisioned. And at the time, we had a 5th member by the name of Nancy McGurr, who's amazing, fantastic vocalist, really good ear for a hook. And she suggested, well, why don't we do it more in the style of Led Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Go from the Supremes to Zeppelin.
Exactly.
It's a natural progression.
It's a natural progression. And then we did, and then we found a few more influences, and it became what it is now. So Shiver's an ode to, what would you say it's an ode to? It's an ode to love, lust, infatuation, and just the exultant feeling of being in a particular moment.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's give it a listen, and we'll come back and talk some more.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, welcome back to the 13th floor, and we have the actual Solomon Cole sitting here with us, going to tell us a little bit about the band in general and the song that we're going to hear, which is the title track from your album. So, first of all, tell me a bit about, I assume since the band is called the Solomon Cole Band that you're kind of the ringleader as such. Do you have a vision for what you want the band to sound like?
Yeah, I mean, Solomon, I'm a big fan of, Nick Cave, Tom Waits, and I guess a lot of writers that use either pseudonyms or have characters in their songs. So Solomon Cole is really the character in all the songs on the album, really. So a lot of the viewpoints are really from that. It's not really me personally, it's from Solomon Cole,
Yep.
So I've always been that sort of way in writing. It's kind of it's not third person. Is it third person?
Yes.
Yeah. So really that's the character, and the band bears that kind of name. And things like Bruises and all the songs in the album are either interrelated with that sort of character in some sort of way. So yeah.
And what can you tell me about the other members of the band? How did Lee come to be involved in playing?
Lee and I have been involved with various bands prior, like Payola, and that had a couple of albums out through J-Rum, and another sort of rock band called These Automatic Changes, and Sophia was with us in Payola as well. Is same sort of setup. So the Solomon Cole Band really is me, Lee and Sophia coming back together after a 5-year hiatus from each other when we really weren't talking to each other. And we've kind of come back together, and this is really the most comfortable unit.
And what about Dion? So how does
Dion is a fantastic addition to the band that we found on Waiheke Island, and only on Waiheke Island.
Right.
There's not many female drummers in the country, really.
Right.
I don't. There's the Chills drummer.
Right.
Who else? There's some. There's not that many, and just someone. The key thing to Dion is actually the key to the Solomon Cole Band, because it's about the swing. It's about the swing and the rhythm section, and you can't teach drummers to swing. They either have it or they don't.
Right.
And Sophia made the AC/DC reference. I mean, it's the swing from an old school kind of thing, Charlie Watts, and Dion's got the swing.
Cool.
When we found
And
it.
so you have one album out so far, right?
So we released Bruises last year in October.
Yeah. And we're going to hear the title track from that.
Correct.
This is one that you've written, is it?
Yep. I was I'm a big fan of Mark Lanigan and dark sort of things like that. And Johnny Cash. The song started out originally as kind of like an ode to Johnny Cash, which kind of swung to Mark Lanigan, which kind of swung to Belter Space. Once Nick Abbott did the record, and on his return from LA, he's just come back. He's been here almost a year. Saw us live and said, we should really swing this song, Bruises, in a kind of Belter Space, repetitive, rolling kind of thing with a kind of a darker vocal. And I think we kind of achieved that on the record, which was kind of cool for me. Belter Space is a big influence to me years ago. Maybe people don't really listen to Belter Space these days, I don't know.
Yeah, they do come up in conversation from time to time.
Yeah.
So they've made their mark, that's for sure.
So it's kind of that. And I guess Bruises, it was the subject matter of the whole album. It's kind of, the title's really about, I guess, kind of the darker ink spots in your life that no one talks about. There's certain sort of references to my mum and her past, and other sort of weird sort of biblical references in there. So, it's the darkest. I think it's the darkest track on the record, and it's the track that is kind of now leading where we're going with the second album.
Is that something in progress? The second album?
Yep, we're writing that now. Yep, we're about 4 songs in. Betty Davis is one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which we'll hear just a little bit.
But we'll probably release that individually by itself, because Nick Abbott's quite keen to just kind of do that track now.
Right.
Yeah. Dragging along the wheels around.
rest your head on the dirty ground. Wake up, Mary, your fevers rise. Yet the darkness is by night. There's no spirit that sweeps the floor. Raise your head to sorrow's throne. Every day a prayer for you. The little word for what I'll never be. To the stars I wish you well. To the